Hi, you are welcome to our media sports page. Ghana just played a very huge match. Yeah, that's how I need to tell me because it's a step in the right direction towards their qualification for the World Cup 2026. Yes, Ghana won against Central African Republic by an humiliating 5-0 far away in Morocco. Central African Republic, they don't have a stadium that befits a match of this caliber. So the game was taken all the way to Morocco, and then the Blasters took advantage of that home away from home game and then beats their counterparts by 5 emphatic goals to 0. This is our media sports page. Kindly like our page across all social media board. Give us followership. Yes, increase our followership, and then also follow on YouTube especially. Hit on that subscription button, and then let's keep going. So I have with me here Force Atiga Maoli Force.
Yeah.
What did you say before the show began?
Sibilantic alliteration of FF sounds.
Okay, you come to end that back later. So Force,
Yeah.
you and I watched the game here in the studio. Were you impressed?
Impressed?
Yes.
I was more than impressed, you understand? Because, I have always said that when Ghana is playing football on the African continent, forget tactics, forget information, forget anything. You have to beat. You see, there are teams that we can tend to struggle a bit against beating them, you understand? Maybe when it comes to probably Egypt, Tunisia, Cameroon, maybe 1-1, 2-1, maybe they beat us. But when it comes to teams like Central African Republic, Madagascar, Comoros, and stuff like that, you understand? You go there, you lay down the marker. You go there, you lay down the gauntlet, 5-0, 7-0, 4-0. You understand? You see, you have to show your dominance,
yes,
right? That is what we were doing in the early 90s. Late 80s. That is why we are called a footballing nation. That is why Pelé himself did say that people should wait for African football when Ghana goes to the World Cup. You see, you have to let your opponents know your worth. You understand? And that is exactly what Ghana did do today. Because we made the Central African Republic remember where they are coming from. We put them at their right place. We made them know that this is Ghana. We did not beat them by 2-0. We did not beat them by 3-0. We beat them by 5-0. And we did not only beat them by 5-0, but we annihilated them. We beat them emphatically. We dominated every facet of the game. And that is how you let your opponent know your worth as a team. And you see, it also goes to tell your opponent the kind of players that you have in your squad. Let me give you an example. A lot of people are talking about the Nigerian squad, right?
Yes.
With their struggling,
Yes.
or with their struggles.
Yes, they are saying one of the best squads in Africa. Yes,
But one of the best squad in Africa.
Yes.
They understand comparatively, right? And they are struggling. So what's the essence of having so much dominance in your team? What's the essence of having so much quality? But you can beat teams like Lesotho, you can beat teams like South Africa, you can beat Nigeria should be at the top of their group. You understand? That is what Ghana is showing Nigeria. That if we cannot do it, we will do it.
Force is trying to chip in Nigeria a bit. But then talk of players, and then with the caliber of players Ghana possess. You see, if you want to list players in other arrangements, you cannot mention names without Kudus, Inaki William, who missed this game due to injury, and Semenyo, who is personally the best player in the English Premier League as at now. Yeah. But then it looks like they are performing with their club teams, but then they're not able to translate that into their national team football. So we heard Asamajan talking about it before, prior to this game, that if they're able to translate that perfectly into the national team football, Ghana will be a fearsome team and then one of the hardest teams to meet. But then Semenyo, quite some games now, and then he's not lived up to expectation. As to the boy he's been playing, we're watching him play in Southern Bournemouth. He's not be able to translate that same game into the Ghana matches. Same as Iñaki Williams, so I've been giving more than 1 million chances, but then he's not been able to live up to that same expectation. The other players as well. Do you think Ghana needs to move away from assembling maybe the Galacticos, let me tell it that way, because we saw Kamaldeen Sulemana coming second half and then got his name on the score sheet. Also, Joseph Painte also came in the second half and then made an assist. You see a lot of exciting players, youngsters coming in from the bench and then making impacts. The previous game, we saw Christopher Bonsuba and then what he did. So do you think it shouldn't be based on the big guys alone, but then we should find a way to blend them with the young and old, and then the hungry players with the already established players?
Every player is hungry, you understand? You see, one thing I love about the Brazilian national team, right, is that no matter how top a player you are eager to be caught up, right?
Yeah,
that is why when the announcement is being made, players are eagerly waiting with their families.
Yes.
You see,
Listening the call up.
Yes.
Yes.
You understand? It doesn't matter where you are playing at. It doesn't matter where you are coming from. You understand? I mean, the excitement alone, the pride alone in donning your national team jersey. Yeah, you see, there's absolutely nothing compared to representing your nation. You understand? Anybody can say whatever they want to say. Yes, it doesn't pay as much, but it gives you pride. It gives you that desire to want to die for your nation. You understand? And you see, when you look at our squad from the early 2000s coming, those were the squad that practically played without money.
Yes.
Because they were washing their own jerseys. They were not changing. They were washing their own jerseys. Some were even what's the name? Paying their own plane ticket.
That's according to Force, though.
No,
I don't know about
See,
this.
Samuel Sekufo has indicated what I am saying now.
Okay.
Do you understand? Samuel Sekufo did indicate. Steve Napier has intimated the same thing. I just want to draw a line between desire and representing your nation. Do you understand? I mean, players have sacrificed for this country. But the current players that we have are living in luxury compared to what the ex-players did experience. So they would have to, exert much more dominance. They would have to exert much more quality. They would have to, bring desire. Do you understand, to the national team? Because there's absolutely nothing you will gain if you don't want to represent your country. Do you understand? That is why I can tell you for a fact that when you go to England, right, a player is eagerly awaiting just to earn a cap.
Yes.
That's one cap.
Yes.
For you to be given that hat that you have a cap with the national team. The same thing happens to the German national team, the Italian national team. You understand? I mean, just one cap. So for you to be called up to the Ghana national team is in itself an achievement. Do you understand? It's in itself an achievement. So yes, I agree with you. Players should come to the national setup with the same mentality that they play club football with, because they know that the competition at the club side is very hard, it's very huge and tough. So they give out their utmost best. So they should bring the same mentality. And I can tell you for a fact, if players do bring the same mentality to the national team, I can tell you that we go to the World Cup and then we can hold our own against any nation at all.
Okay, so away from individual players, now let's go to the whole team efforts. First, I remember when Ghana drew against Comoros and then other countries, like there was chaos in Ghana. Everyone was agitating and stuff. But then this is an emphatic 5-0 win. From tactical board or tactical perspective, what do you think Coach Otoado got right? What did he do so well that he's able to record one of the hugest records in recent football in terms of Ghana football, especially Black Stars? What did he get right? What were the things he did very well to be able to achieve this feat?
Josiah.
Courage.
Courage.
Yes.
I am a proponent of total football. Do you understand? And tactics is very important when it comes to football. Information is very important when it comes to football. Interpretation of the tactical role is very key. But there are certain teams when you're going to play against, you don't need tactics, my brother. You don't need so much coaching, my brother. Today was one of those days. Do you understand?
So I'm trying to, I'm trying not to be mischievous here.
I'm not trying to relegate them.
I'm taking credit away from the head coach.
I'm not taking credit away from the head coach. But what I'm trying to intimate is that there are certain teams, okay, no matter the tactical information you use, be it a 4-4-2, be it a 4-4-2 diamond, be it a 4-3-3, be it a 3-4-3, no matter the tactical information, you have to beat them.
But fair enough.
And you beat them handsomely. When Ghana beat Chad 5-0 in Accra, do you understand? Everybody was happy because that is what Ghana should be doing.
Yeah.
I am not going to take away the credit from Otoado. Yeah. Because even how to select players
is part of tactical.
It's part of your tactical achievement. You understand? Because Ghana could have gone to Central African Republic and then drawn the game or lose the game. I get to the point. But what the marker I'm trying to lay down is that there are certain teams when we meet them, the least we should do is to beat them by 3-0. That's the least we should do. Football is developing. That is why when you go to South America, Brazil meets maybe Bolivia. Apart apart from playing in Bolivia, where the altitude is very high, Brazil made them in Brazil and then beat them by 5-0.
Yeah.
And you know that every single time they meet them, they're going to beat them.
Yeah, yes.
Brazil meet any other nation apart from probably Colombia and Argentina, and they whip them. That is the marker that Ghana has to lay. I get to the point. That is what Egypt does. If Egypt meets a country that is not Morocco, that is not Algeria, that is not Cameroon, that is not Nigeria, that is not Ghana, they try as much as possible to lay down a marker by beating you 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. So you as an opponent, the next time you meet them, you know that no, this is my senior brother, this is my father in football. So I don't really focus too much on tactics when it comes to Ghana, Chad, Ghana, Comoros, Ghana, Central African Republic. I just want the performance that is befitting of the name Ghana.
One more thing before we wrap up. Benjamin Asare. people call him the king of clean sheets. He's played about 5 continuous games without conceding a goal from the Ghana Premier League straight to the national team. We saw him in action today. Not too many calls, but then there were very few moments he was involved. He did his very best. Do you think he should be maintained going forward, or probably this has been one of his high days?
Is there a challenger?
There's Atizigi.
No, Atizigi is not a challenger. Joseph Annan is not a challenger.
Atizigi last season in the Europa Conference League was one of the highest.
It doesn't matter. It's about your performance in the national team. That is why a couple of years ago, you go to the Spanish national team, and then you had Jesse Dudek, you had Ike Casillas, and then you had the Barcelona goalkeeper, Vitor Valdes. But when it comes to the national team, it was Ike Casillas. Do you understand? No matter how good you are at your club side, do you transform that performance when it comes to the national team? You see, watch something about Asari. One of the most important or key aspects of a goalkeeper is your attention span. Do you understand? Especially when your team is dominant. Because when your team is dominant, you tend to, have attention lapses. So when it happens like that, the only chance that the opponent gets, it turns into a goal. But watch, what's the name? Asari. Attentive for 90 minutes. This is one quality of a goalkeeper that you cannot take away from him. And you see, the fact that he was drafted in from the local scene, because we have had a lot of goalkeepers being drafted from the local scene and have not been able to prove themselves. You understand? But he's coming into the system, into the fold, and has held his own. You see, he's been there's a bit of understanding between the back four and the goalkeeper. That is one key element of goalkeeping. You should be able to command and then demand attention from your back four. And that's exactly what he's been able to do. So to me, there's no outlier. Asari is our goalkeeper for America, Canada, Mexico, 2026.
Okay, so you hear this from us. My name is Courage. So this is how we wrap it up for today. And we're bringing you the preview between Ghana and Comoros, which will come on this Sunday. Goodbye for now, and then keep following our media sports on all our social media networks. Bye-bye.